All right, guys.
Yeah,
you experienced Planet Boom Bap first here on the nightly special live with their interstellar hip-hop sounds.
Yeah.
That hot damn, guys. That was utterly incredible. I hope it all sounded well. I was mixing my best, my damn hardest, but it was incredible to hear you guys performing here. It was just grooving madness, guys.
We appreciate it.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
We have fun every time we do it.
True.
All right, so now we want to try to get an introduction with everybody. I know you said it over with the beats and everything, and when everybody get their name and shout out here. So
all right.
You also got your mic there too.
Okay.
Yeah, if you want to pull that up. All right, there we
go. My name is Nate Colby. I'm playing this keyboard. I go by the Whiz Kid, I guess.
Very good.
My name is Zach Berger. I play bass for Planet Boom Bap.
Yeah.
My name is Merk Versus, also known as Minister Merk, and I'm an MC and also the manager of the band.
GoldenEye, vocals, Planet Boom Bap.
Books of Soul Scholar, vocals, musician.
Uh-oh, look who's creeping over there.
Hurricane on the drums.
Funky drummer.
Yes, keeping that beat.
Also known as Dr. Funk Feather.
All right, so now let's get down to the interview. You guys did a killer set. I know when you guys performed at VGR at the Back to School Bash, Planet Boom Bap is actually an acronym. Do you want to explain what it means and just go about with how you came up with it?
It's Zach coined. It's a backronym because we came up with it after we came up with the name. Originally, the name Planet Boom Bap. Boom Bap is a distinct style of early hip hop. Some people call it old school now, but some others consider it golden age, like in the 90s, late 80s, early 90s. But the acronym is Please Listen as Navigators Explore the Blend of Original Music, Beats, and Poetry. And there's a theme and a mythos behind the group Planet Boom Bap that is, we're actually working on trying to do a comic book to explain it all. But basically it's that music is a universal language. And myself personally, and I know GoldenEye would agree with me, that we've been rappers for a long time. We're in the Muncie scene locally and regionally throughout Indiana. We've been doing it for a long time. But it's always been a dream of both of ours to actually work with live musicians. And somehow or another it never really worked out. And I guess the stars were aligned, so to speak. And we met a few talented guys that all came together and we communicated through music. And that's what Planet Boom Bap's all about. It's about expressing yourself through music and using it as a force of unity between people that might not otherwise understand each other.
So how did everyone meet? That's a story I'd like to know, because everyone is on different spectrums of the age and living life a little more than some of the others in the band. How'd you guys all meet up?
The two of the guys in the group, my drummer and GoldenEye, we're basically we're family. We've known each other for years and years and years, and so that's a given. And me and GoldenEye go way back as far as we started out together rapping in a group called Masterminds, and we kind of had a spacey theme back then too, actually. But so everything came full circle. But I actually had an event at VGR. I think it was a charity event, and this was a few years ago, maybe about 2.5 years ago. And there was a instructor, professor, Mr. Wiley,
Yeah,
Dr. Wiley,
Dr. Willie.
Willie, okay.
Yeah, shout out him.
And he was actually. I thought it was Wiley, but he was actually.
Thinking of Mega Man.
Is he still here? Is he still here?
Yeah, he still works over there.
Okay, well,
Shout
he was
out.
there actually at the show, and me and him started talking, and he was telling me about a paper that he was writing about sampling, the art of sampling. He was really impressed by the depth of the history of actually the art of sampling in hip hop, and so when the idea got brought forward between me and GoldenEye to actually start a band, he was one of the people I reached out to saying, hey, we need some members, some players to get involved here. And Nate got with us, and he's a whiz kid. His name says it all. His nickname we gave him because he's kind of like he kind of tailored the sound of Planet Boom Bap with his spacey keys that actually helps give us an identity. And we actually had another bass player, and things didn't work out, and it feels like it should have been this way from the beginning because Zach is plugged in and he's on point, and he's like you know, our drummer, of course, the rhythm section, the drummer and the bass player, like hold us down every time. That's where the groove comes from, you know. So yeah, some are late additions, and then I actually reached out because I wanted to. So we played as a band for about a year, maybe almost 2 years, without a vocalist singing. Actually, 2 vocalists rapping, but none singing. And I was thinking one day, I was like, it would round out our sound and take us to another level if we had a talented person with strong vocals to actually work with us and perform with us. So a couple friends of mine put out a call through social media, and Books, the Soul Scholar, came forth, and she fell right in line, and she rounded out our sound and actually takes us. I've had so many people tell us that it kind of stepped us up because there's people that might not listen to us with just the beats and the raps, but you know the vocals actually help us get into more sophisticated ears, I would say, maybe.
It definitely adds a little more flair, and your vocals are fantastic. It was so hard. I had to fluctuate a lot on the board because just you hit those notes so powerful, and I'm like, I have it turned up for the guys pretty loud, and I got to turn it down low because you hit right where the pitch needs to be for everyone to listen. And I mean, the sound as a whole, you guys really groove off each other greatly. It's like you're all like connected.
I think part of that comes from we joke around a lot. When we first started together, we didn't hang out as much as we hang out online more than anything, but we're always trading jokes, and I think that gives us more of a family vibe. The more time we get to know each other and spend around each other, it makes the music easier to create and perform together because once we get to know each other's personalities, and it's really good. It's like a family, really, to be honest.
And the musicians make it so easy too, as far as playing stuff. And when we all get together, they come together and everybody meshes well and gets on the same page real easy, and they're able to create nice grooves for us, and it all just comes together. It's just like it's natural, like, you know, kind of like some interplanetary activity,
right.
Interstellar activity.
I really feel blessed. I don't think I really told guys, but I really appreciate them and feel blessed to be associated with people with so much talent and have access to this because, like I said, I think it's a star alignment type thing because stuff. I mean, it's not easy to hold together talented people. I've tried in the past to actually form bands, and I think that it was just the right time for everything to work. And I think the sky's the limit with us. I mean, I'm realistic about goals as far as the future. We have some events planned in the future, and you know we might want to connect with some management or something. But everything's independent right now, and I'm the one basically trying to hook up the events. But I think that what's unique about it is, you know, instead of us rapping over beats like we've done for years, I'm not downplaying that at all. That's the producers are crazy at what they do, great at that. But it's just, to me, the live music element puts us in a whole different category because we're able to do shows with other bands that might not necessarily be of the same genre. Yeah, and
it makes it more intimate. I mean, it's always like, you know, whether if you got a person playing instruments or if you got a person, you know, that's like mixing the beats on the spot, like with like some electronic music.
Right.
That stuff is a little more intimate than pressing play, you know, rapping. It's still a good vibe, still a good sound, but you guys, it's a more groove. It's got a good, you know, hook and everything to it. This would be a question for each of you guys, but what are your influence and inspirations that got you to where you are at now within the music scene?
Oh, man. Well, it didn't start with hip-hop, but like I started listening to Metallica and that kind of stuff back in the day, and that's really what got me playing guitar and bass. But as far as hip-hop goes, man, like Atmosphere.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I used to, like KRS-One, you know, just a lot of, just all kinds of stuff. You know, like, I think it's really important to take from all different branches, not just, you know, I want to listen to this brand of hip-hop or, you know, this particular band. I think it's important to reach for the stars, so to speak, and, you know, grab all kinds of different influences for our sound.
Definitely look like you know that.
Yeah. Influences. Yeah, I started playing guitar when I was younger, and I got really into metalcore, and I did that for a while. And then I discovered Radiohead, and I was just like a huge Radiohead fan for like 5 years. Well, I still am.
We all are.
Yeah, we all are. That's right.
Me too.
Yeah. I think that's what gives me my spacey sound sometimes. What was I gonna say? I think they have some elements of hip hop in some of their stuff, and I think that kind of led me to listening to different kinds of hip hop.
So what hip hop influence you? Like you say you like the sound of that kind of like helps you with this.
Yeah, I think it was DJs and instrumentals where I first discovered like the intricacy of the music. Is that a word?
Yes, that's the word.
Intricacy. I discovered the intricacy of the music. And yeah, I can't even remember which ones I listened to. I would just like browse YouTube all over and just listen to different ones, and then like atmosphere too. What's that?
We didn't have YouTube to browse when I was growing up.
You sure didn't.
Set box.
Right?
Yeah, I had my daddy's crate.
Yeah.
Yeah, with me, as far as my influences, I grew up listening to like Sam Cooke and the Four Tops
Yes.
and stuff like that. And as far as hip hop goes, my hip hop influences, they pretty much, like Zach said, I believe in looking at a wide array of things. And the album that we're working on is actually a testament to that, because we have I tried to use different tempos and styles. When I went to the musicians and said, let's do this style of song, or let's do that style of song. You know, we've got reggae influenced songs, we've got rock influenced songs. We tried to keep everything far reaching. As far as hip hop, I'd say 90s hip hop, Gangstar, Wu-Tang Clan. You know, some of the newer stuff. I mean, Kendrick Lamar is awesome. J. Cole. I listen to 2 Chainz, his new album.
I like Hove. I ain't going in front. I'm putting on Front Street. I like Hove and Nas.
Yeah,
Like that's in my
all
car
the classics,
right now.
You know, Tupac
like,
and all that.
Hove
But
and
there's
Nas,
a lot of
Rick
obscure
James,
stuff that I listen to too, as far as hip hop.
Curtis
goes.
Mayfield, you know, James Brown, that kind of stuff. Because that's what I listen to a lot more nowadays. Is people like Curtis Mayfield and Rick James. Because my hip hop identifies like with that, like a lot of the samples and a lot of the things, a lot of the funk.
It's like
and,
a precursor.
Yeah, so it's like it's not too far apart. So when I'm listening to hip hop and listening to, say, you know, some funk or early blues or something like that, it just still all feels the same, because the MCs to me of the 80s and 90s are like the funk musicians and the blues singers of our generation. You know, it's just like these are our instruments instead of us, you know, picking up an old harmony or something and tuning it and just practicing and learning, you know, just, which is something that I wish I would have done, you know, in hindsight. But now, being with Planet Boom Bap, we get the chance to bring all of that out, like, you know, take everything we've learned over the years with music, no matter how long it's been, if it's been 20 years or 10 years or whatever, and put it all together and express all of that and get that out. I drummer likes Jamiroquai too. I got to get that out.
Let the man speak. Let the man speak. You're gonna speak for the man.
I got a lot of influences. You know what I'm saying? Everybody, my old man was a drummer. He played with everybody from Chicago to Parliament to whatever. So I grew up in the church playing drums. As a music influence, I had to catch myself. I listened to, you know, I grew up with just about everything from funk, you know what I'm saying, to the 80s R&B, 80s hip-hop. Was a big fan. Stuck in the 90s on hip-hop. As far as anything new, I say probably the only person I really listen to is Currency. You know what I'm saying? That's what's hot right now. He got his own style, got his own music too. And he's sampling all the old school jazz cuts.
And he's got a show coming up in Indiana sometime. Don't say where though.
But music has been something I started on. Actually, I was just doing it for myself, just to do it for myself, until Merck approached me about it. And I just took off from there.
Yeah, he was like, to me, he was like a diamond in the rough, because he had this talent, and I'd go over to his house and he'd be playing on the drums, and he wasn't really in any bands or anything. He was just doing it for the love of it, and that's like the purity of the situation. Is just doing it just to do it. You know, that's what it's all about, with just the drive of creativity and wanting to do it just because you enjoy doing it. That's the heart and soul of music and creativity. So I felt that, you know, like I said earlier, it's like it just seemed like everything fell into place, right? And, you know, it's a good thing, and I want to keep moving and keep creating as long as we can, and make a couple great projects. We got one in the works. It's going to be done soon, early 2018. And if you enjoyed what you heard, you can check out planetboombap.com.
I think you beat that in the head as much as I beat it in my slogan. Do you have anything to add?
Oh, as far as like musical influences?
Yeah.
Well, I have a lot as well. I am originally from Nashville, Tennessee, so country music, y'all know is big down there. So I grew up with Martina and Dolly and Shadazy, and I also grew up singing in church. So I have a lot of that, a strong influence in like gospel music and Christian music. But when I come home, my dad brought out his crates. So I remember, love Prince. He's probably him, Stevie Wonder, Donny Hathaway are probably my tops as far as just like writing, because I'm a writer and a musician, and I do some production. So all of that kind of goes into my sound. But then, I just love a little bit of everybody. 80s music. Everybody kind of has already talked about like the 90s hip hop, the metal. I certainly listen to that as well, but I also listen to, Indigo Girls, Alanis Morissette, Paula Cole, and, things like that. So just I'm a big sponge. I'm a classically trained musician, classically trained dancer. So I really have just a big melting pot of influences that I like to draw from.
And that's the thing about Books. When she actually joined us and started rehearsing with us, me and Goldeneye, we kind of like quiz people, I guess you could say, to try to test their musical mental. And
trying to test my gangster.
Yeah, pretty much. But the thing is like, okay, the part of our set is we do a mixture. Like, we have an original album of all original music coming out, but in our live set, we do like tribute songs or renditions, or you could say not really necessarily covers of songs. We might be doing those in the future though, but it's a mixture. It's a blend of music we appreciate, and it seemed like every time I ran something by Books, she knew what the deal was. She got right with it. Not to say, with the influences she listed, it's easy to understand how and why, but we're talking about Soul to Soul, Back to Life, and all that.
Yes. Ooh, snaps! I can't wait for that one.
Yeah.
All right, well, we're going to take a little break here. You've been listening to the Nightly Special here in WCRD 91.3 FM, Ball State College radio station, always better. Been your host for the Nightly Special, Hunter Knight, Planet Boom Paps in here. Remember the slogan, form a unity, jumpstart a better community, and as always, make your 1% count. I got up next for music, I have Gerald B. with How We Livin', and CJ with the brand new song, January.
Shout out to Gerald B.
Here on the Nightly Special.
You're listening to WWHI, Muncie, Indiana. WCRD 91.3 FM. Always better.
All right, we are back on the Nightly Special, where you form a unity, jumpstart a better community, and as always, make your 1% count. I have Planet Boom Bap still here in the studio, but first, take a look at weather. The whole weekend is going to be hot. It's going to be in the 90 degrees, little chance of no rain. It's going to be hot as can be. Go to the pool, stay indoors, or, like Nate and I, we're going to be doing homework all day. So they'll be wearing like their thing. So
the pool's closed now.
Our pool's still open in my apartments. Yeah.
They don't close them at a certain time of the year?
No, yeah, but
It's hot.
That's a judgment call for the maintenance man.
Take it in.
I'm sure over there at the Village Promenade is going to be jumping in the pool.
That place is expensive.
Hey, but it's beautiful though, and it's worth it. Like I would so do it.
Paying that much, I better get room service.
Water noodles.
Hey, but it's beautiful though, especially like if you're doing the music scene on campus, or if you're just on the campus scene. That's ideal for me. If I was in a band and I went to Ball State, I'd want to be right there, like right in the center of everything. It's awesome though.
I don't know. With some of that, it's kind of hard because some people in that scene, in that area, the promenade it's hard to like get people to experience new things, to kind of open up and kind of like enjoy, because there's always been issues with certain people throwing parties and then calling the cops on like VGR for shows because they got too loud at 9 o'clock and cops came and stuff. So it's hard to for people to respect each other's differences and let bygones be bygones.
I hear that.
But on the note, when we're talking about music and stuff beforehand, I want to know with you guys your interest about or your not interest but your perspective on with rap today, and with how some of it, do you feel like it's lost its soul with some things?
Here's where you want to take my view on hip hop as it's grown and changed over the years is that I don't think I'm an older fella, an older chap, and I don't think that being old is or getting old, growing old, is ever going to be cool. So the youth is always supposed to rebel and go against the grain and be different from the stuff that came before it. But one thing that I do think is that having a certain level of respect for those that came before you is very important. And usually your list of influences would be among those older artists that you respect. Now, as far as losing its soul, I don't know, because the pain, to me, soul music comes from pain, and the pain's still there because, you know, the world we live in is full of it. But in terms of the style of music, it has changed over the years, and I think there's still music I can get with today that I listen to of youth. My sons are into a lot of music that they put me on to some stuff. What's this artist? Denzel Curry, I believe. One of my sons was playing him, and you know, so I'm open-minded when it comes to stuff like that. We have some younger artists we work. Gerald B, one of them, and Gary Carmike. A lot of younger artists. I've always opened my arms to younger artists. You know, I like to see talent. You know, I like to see that. I like to see people that are willing to perform, get up on stage, and show what they got. And really, the style doesn't really matter a lot to me. But as far as soul, or I'll say, if I have any criticism of newer music, it is a lack of, and this isn't across the board, it's just in some cases a lack of paying homage. Not necessarily that you have to give them a shout out at every award show or redo all their songs, but make sure you pay homage to those that came before you, because they kind of like paved the way a little bit. So
yeah,
I think that's highly important.